Hello there, I'm Colonel Failure and this is City Skylines. Over the last couple of episodes we've been putting together this new area. We're kind of experimenting with some different traffic ideas to keep things moving along, and as you can see the network of roads we've got going on here is it's really quite something. I mean, it's entirely designed to get traffic to where it's intended to go. But anyway, for the moment I'm going to talk about something else. Some of you have noticed that we've got this button up here, this little blue button right here, and this is the integrated web server for City Skylines. Now this is something that I use on an occasional basis. I find it more useful to use when I'm redeveloping than when I'm laying stuff down to begin with. So I'm going to show you how that works. But in order for me to really get the most out of that, I'm going to lay in a couple of new districts. For reasons that will become purple? No, for reasons that will become clear. Yes, there you go. Maybe reasons that become purposeful. Okay, so if we let's divide this equally. So, well, let's not divide it equally at all. Let's go with this lot here. This is all residential. Right, it's pretty much all residential. Actually, we'll be able to find out fairly quickly. That is not a big enough brush. Give me a bigger brush here. So, basically what the web server allows you to do, and you will see in just a second, is it allows you to interrogate a lot of what's actually going on in your city. Or rather, in different regions, different districts in your city. No, I don't want these to be the same one. I want them to be separate. There we go, Lilac Square. Yeah, that's totally what I would have called it. Oh, okay, I see. Overwriting will... yes. The district tool is not one with which I am overly familiar. As I mentioned before, this is this tool I will probably use. So the web server I will use much more once I start getting into the redevelopment of an existing city, rather than Cozy Square. There's going to be some renaming up in here, I tell you that. And then let's put one there. Just going to make a couple, just so that we've got enough for me to give you an example of what this is all about. Okay, right, let's do some renaming in here. So, let's call this one Major Residential. Obviously, you're going to want slightly funkier names than these, but this is just a kind of this one can be the Jobs. This one is Roundabouts. What else we got here? That's like a commercial and let's bring out the zoning. That's industrial. Okay. Industrial Avenue. Two more. Let's call it this Circle 1. And then we'll call the other one, predictably, Circle 2. Okay, right, so, now that we've got these named, and you've got a feel for what they are, now, don't just think about using this as a way of interrogating different zones that have buildings in, or that have massive populations. I use it, possibly, when I have used it in the past, I use it most of all on roads, and I'm going to show you why. Stay tuned. Okay, hopefully you can make this out. So what we're looking at here is effectively just a web browser. And it will pop up automatically when you click the blue button in the game, as we did just a moment ago. Now, I run two servers. I run two monitors in my setup, and therefore I can keep this one up on the second monitor while I'm focusing on the original. Now, if we look at the areas we just built. So, what have we got here? Major Residential. So if we highlight just a little along there so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so major residential has got a population of 17, pretty much 18,000. But it's got 4,600 people in it with a potential for 5,100. So it still has some growth to come. Now, this comes in useful when you're building a new area and you kind of go like, oh, all right, okay, they're moving into there quite nicely. Do I actually need some more housing in that area? Equally, you know, traffic is building up in my new area pretty radically. You know, has it tapped out? Has it topped out? You know, is there going to be more people moving in and clogging the place up with cars soon as well? This will help you to answer that. Similarly, it allows you to show whether there are jobs available at the moment and whether you're going to need to rustle some more up, you know, so to zone out some more industrial or offices or what have you. Now, if you look at the one that I paid closest attention to, perhaps, obviously, with my obsession with traffic, vehicles. It tells you how many vehicles. Can't select the column. That's annoying. The vehicles allows you to see exactly how many cars are currently in that area. Now, this is why I was talking about making individual areas of your road into different districts. And this is purely because if you keep it up and monitored on a regular basis, you can see if your traffic situation is getting worse. So if we look at Glorious Dirty here, which I didn't show you just now, but if you've been tuning into the series, you'll know where that is. This was set up as kind of a new industrial area fairly early on in this kind of Let's Play series of videos, and it's pretty big, and it's got 1,100 vehicles in it. Now, as a target, I would probably try and get that down, because those 1,100 vehicles, quite a lot of them are queuing all the time. There is always a queue going on right there. Equally, we've got two identical circles, well, pretty much identical. As you can see, actually, they're not in any way identical. See, I thought they were, and they're not. Households, 760 versus 504. Jobs, 302 versus 205. All right, I was completely off the mark on that one. They're not even, they're only similarly sized. But that allows you to actually quantify that. So what this is useful for is a tracking tool. It's not going to be useful if you don't use districts, because nothing will show up if you don't use districts. I use it on a regular basis just to make sure that I'm kind of pointing in the right direction. So I made reference to Glorious Dirty just now, and here it is. If I bring up the actual zoning tool, you can see how big it is. So it's this whole industrial area right here. And I haven't really paid any real care to zoning at the moment. I've done it largely just for the sake of doing it, I guess. Anyway, right now, and I've got the server open in a separate window. I can tell you exactly what's going on, but it's a complete pain to switch between recording the two, so you're just going to have to take my word that the information coming up is accurate. Let's have a look. Does it cover that road? Yeah, it also covers this piece of road. Now, if I can get this roundabout to clear, I should see my traffic numbers going down. So we're still at, what do we got at the moment? 1115, so 1,115 vehicles in this area. And we want to get that to go down. And a lot of those are going to come from this queue right here and that queue there. Now, one easy way to fix that would just be to dezone it. But we're not going to do that. That's not what we're about. Okay, so if I can get more traffic on here, and as it's moving right now, I can see already, actually, because that's flowing through, we're now down to 1,090 vehicles in the area. But obviously that's going to build back up again when more people join the queue. You know, that's not a solution going, yay, we dropped by 25. It's a shame there's still everybody in the world on there. So we're going to try and move things through a little quicker. And just to kind of prove that point out, we're going to use the traffic manager, which I talked about recently, to try and get that sorted. Now, I think right here is probably going to help things the most, because it's causing a queue for people getting off the roundabout. So let's stop them turning right for starters. There we go, that one. There. Targeting that thing is not the easiest thing to do in the world. Obviously, that's going to take a minute or two before it starts to work, because traffic has to kind of start its route. Let's turn all these traffic lights off and just get stuff moving. Add some priority signs on there. You guys, I guess, have got priority. You have to yield to let them through. And you guys have got priority as well. There we go. Why are you yielding? There shouldn't be traffic lights there. There we go. Quite why there's a tractor coming off the highway here, I have no idea. But if that works out, which it looks like it might do, yeah, that should allow this queue to disperse. Now, we've still got queuing going on all the way back here. Now, I did put some priority signs on here previously, but they've been forgotten. Now, someone on Steam suggested that that the game forgot your priorities after you reloaded. Oh, that would be a real shame. Maybe maybe there's a save button or something like that. I need to look into that, but let's get that. You don't even need to put anything there. Stop. Yeah, right, just like that. It has, however, remembered my... No, it hasn't remembered that either. Hasn't remembered my changes at all to this. I pressed save, didn't I? Yeah. Totally did. Anyway, well, this is all just going to be more valuable as I clear the decks. Not that one. Okay, so new priorities in place, new lane usage in place. This road is still not clearing through. Okay, it's not perfect, but you know, that's okay. I can live with it not being perfect, as long as it, you know, mostly keeps moving. Actually, there was a pretty big queue here, which I seem to have managed to get rid of. Now, if we could just do the same for this one, everyone would be happier. Now, okay, that's fixed one half of it. Now it's time to fix the other half. We've got traffic lights on there at the moment, so that's already sorted out. That's already. I'm checking for turning off on the right lane at the moment. Okay, now let's get some priorities up in here. Hello, I want to get some priorities up in here. Oh, that's got traffic lights on, that's why I can't prioritise it. Oh, it has remembered. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, disregard what I said before. The game has remembered exactly what I was trying to do. This was simply a case of, let's put some traffic lights on there. Give these guys a chance to get moving. So right now we've got 1190 in the traffic system for Glorious Dirty, which is here, which incorporates this big queue. If I can get this queue to shift, well, I mean, mind you, it's only going into the rest of the district, isn't it? Unless it clears through. All right, let's fix up this roundabout here. No, we don't want traffic lights. We want to stick priority signals on it. You yield, you go. Okay, so here you have the privileges. You get to yield. And this one. Simply by setting the priorities correctly on a roundabout makes it work so much better. You do end up with more queuing traffic trying to get on there in the first place, but it keeps the thing moving round, which means that anybody that gets on there gets to their destination, so you don't end up gridlocking the thing. I'm pretty sure this is still part of the same district. There we go. Yes, it is. Very much part of the same district. And actually, I think the root cause of this particular queuing hell is this train station. Well, I guess a cargo station. So it's creating unnecessary levels of bedlam. Where are all these trucks going? Have they found themselves a really happy-go-lucky way out? Okay, so in my changes so far, we've now got traffic up to 1,250. Could just be me, but I'm going to suggest it isn't working. I've managed to ease this queue just a little bit, but that's not what I was trying to accomplish here. Give me the lane manager. Right, you can't go straight. Let's get that doing the thing. Now, obviously, with these traffic lights here, that's causing this to all tail back, which is, I mean, it's easing this queue. Unfortunately, cars are sensible enough to go round the outside to join this kind of escape route. Where are you lot all going? You can't just want to spend the rest of eternity on the roundabout. And I should point out, this area is one that I have earmarked for complete demolishing and redevelopment. One thing I will say, however, is I've noticed a potential flaw with the hexagon. This octagonal roundabout is referred to as the hexagon. The flaw is these single lane slip roads. They don't let enough traffic on. So even if I use traffic signals, traffic lights, to allow traffic to get its fair crack at getting around the roundabout, it doesn't get there because you're not letting enough traffic on in the first place. And it certainly, I mean, basically, it doesn't matter if he's turning off here or going straight, just in case he would, hypothetically, or heading off this way, or going round and going around there. Doesn't matter. He's coming in one lane. Now, if I were to switch this for a highway ramp, the whole thing would speed up. In fact, I'm tempted to do so. Let's find one that's not going to disrupt things. Let's see if this will change anything. Let's pause for a sec. Now, of course, chances are this isn't going to be possible. No, you don't want me to bulldoze. There we go. Right. Take that off there. This might not work at all, but I'm going to try it anyway. Because if it does, then, I'm going to suggest that I am, fully vindicated. Not that anybody's really questioning it, but, I think we need a Hexagon 2.0. One that takes into consideration the latest advances in traffic management that we've been working on. Oh, go on, you'll fit on there. I don't want to go all the way out. Look, it should just be. Come on, I'll be happy. Gone. Okay, so doing the same thing 15 times in a row is not going to make it work. Okay, right, well, in that case, we need to peel off here. Alright, that's ugly. Do we want to leave it like that? No, we really don't. And that certainly wouldn't be anything we'd do with any level of permanence. Alright, what we might try doing, because even just having those three kind of routing options going on at the junction up there will make a difference in terms of getting more stuff queuing. So if I'm using traffic lights, let's unpause this again. If I'm using traffic lights, which I often will at a junction that has got a particularly high level of queuing. Let's see what we've got. Everyone's coming up the middle. Yes. Because nobody wants to turn left. Well, actually, I would expect some traffic does want to turn left. Why are you... Oh, yes, okay, I've just built something new there, so I need to check my priorities again. There we go. Okay, so there you go. So, how's my queue resolution? My queue resolution has accomplished nothing at all, because the routing is only getting stuff off the highway and into this incredibly congested area. So, more work is needed. But we go back to this roundabout. As you can see, it is now moving. It is a thing in perpetual motion. So that kind of demonstrates how it works. It does actually make a difference to set priorities correctly on a roundabout. Keeps it going. You do end up with tailbacks of people trying to get on there in the first place, but even then, it moves through so much quicker that you end up, going places. And the good news is, if you've got, so let's say you've got queues going in 3 directions, every time one queue moves, it effectively blocks off the next one. So it acts like a traffic signal all on itself. What's going on here? Why are you... you can't get to where you're going, and it's the flaming train station that's causing the problem. I mean, look at this. I want to stick a, no right turns on here. I'd rather have them go up to the roundabout and then come in. Okay, I need to think about stations in the future anyway. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching today. That's been the integrated web server. I'll provide a link to it in the description below. Yeah, you use it to give yourself more information about what's actually going on in your city, and particularly in different districts in your city. So thanks for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Please leave a like and subscribe if you've not done so already, and I'll be back in the near future. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.